Hello, guys.
Hello.
We went to the beach and now we're drawing a Demonslayer,
What kind of Demonslayer?
a sketchy Demonslayer.
Which sketchy?
It's the Wind Boy.
Sonamy.
I don't know his name, but I like his manic eyes and his big smile.
He is a character.
And as you can see by this long pause, I really don't know how to draw. Honestly, for anime style in general is always like a weird thing 'cause there's a lot of different animes out there. Demon Slayer is a very like specific anime thing because like you can't make a lot of them are adults, but they have like a very child like proportions sometimes, which makes characters like the Sound Hashira just like really noticeable, like big tall boy.
He is tall.
Yeah,
He is a mountain man.
and I think Sonomy is one of those things like if you try to lean into what you think Demon Slayer is too much, he really looks like a child. But if you make him look like a man, it doesn't look like Demon Slayer anymore. And this isn't really a style match thing. This was just like a study because I like Demon Slayer and I love the idea of Sonomy because like I said, I love the scars. I love the just crazy.
So does his little brother Genya.
I don't like Genya.
You don't? He's got the pew-pews.
I'm all on Sonomy's side for rejecting and neglecting that child.
Jeez.
Screw that kid. But yeah, no, it's like I said, we just got back from a honeymoon. Things have been crazy, but we wanted to get a video out, so we're gonna do we're gonna try our first reaction video after this. But I just wanted to do some sketching. Plus I was like stressed yesterday, so I was like, you know what? No one wanted to play video games with me, so I was gonna draw.
Life is hard.
Yeah. And Demon Slayer is a show I should like, and I do, and there's a lot of sword stuff. So you're gonna see, like, I was thinking about Sonomy, but I just want to do a crazy pose. Like, as you can see, actually, Ace, you may recognize this as one of the thumbnails for our Patreon exclusive print. This is very inspired by one of the thumbnails that we haven't done yet, so.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Little plug. This Patreon unrated print is gonna be a fun tiefling girl. We're gonna have gory versions, sassy, spicy versions. But
what was that?
but it's all gonna have swords. So yeah, this is one of like super dynamic ones. And Ace, you actually said you thought it gave you like One Piece vibes with like the crazy.
The way that you drew Sonomy, I did not recognize it as Sonomy. I recognized it more as Luffy when he was in Gear 5.
Yes, because I Sonomy, like I said, one of the things I like about him is all the scars. And like this isn't, like I said, I did a study because like I always try to draw Sonomy and I'm like, how the fuck do you draw this? And what do you do when you don't know how to do something? You keep trying. So and this was just me kind of like vibing, but when it came to doing like the bigger sketch, I was like, I just want to do a crazy sword pose because I really like doing like anime poses, but bringing like some of my actual quote unquote my actual martial arts mentality to it, which sometimes it comes through, sometimes it doesn't. Because I said Demon Slayer is one of those things where like it tries to like set itself up as a very like legit multiple different styles, but really a lot of the animation is just like super fast like flash step style stuff.
Mm-hmm. But then you get like that slow pause.
But again, those don't always like add to the different styles vibe of it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Sonomy is one of those like speed focused characters. So it's just after image. But I do like him for crazy, so I'm like, he would totally just be in a flurry and jump through the air and do this crazy cut. So I did try to think about, like, okay, if you're actually cutting, where are things going to end up kind of stuff? Like, how do you incorporate the chain? But the other thing is, like, again, it poses itself as this, like, samurai, kendo, kenjutsu thing.
Yeah.
Almost no one is using two-handed techniques half the time. It's always noticeable, like, oh no, he lost one of his hands. But most of the time, they're all swinging one-handed anyway.
Right.
Which is just because it looks metal. Like, I can't deny it. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to go more gestural and vibe than, like, duplicating any style or, like, staying on model. But there were things I was thinking about. Like, this one, I'm like, this doesn't look like how he would do it. I'm like, wait a minute. Manic smile.
Yeah.
That's what I'm missing here.
I do like his dynamic with Muichiro in the show. But I didn't.
Sonomies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like a lot of people's that is one of the interesting things is like
Mhm.
all the different Hashiros and characters, like how they vibe with each other. Because I think that's and that's one of the things we're talking about with Hitcam right now is like that sells one character so much is like, okay, who likes them and why and how do they interact?
Right.
Who's getting coffee afterwards? Who hates each other but has to respect them because they are good at what they do? Like when a certain character dies and everyone is just like,
Mm,
he was a real one.
yeah.
Even the people like, I don't like anyone, but that boy was dope.
Yeah. But
This,
you also run the risk. Sorry, if I'm interrupting. But
go
you
for it.
also run the risk of there's a whole ensemble cast of characters. You got to devote some time to like each character's kind of backstory and what they do.
So I think that's a
But, like-
trap that like young writers fall into is thinking that you have to. You 100% don't. It's fun to, and if you have time to, there's no reason not
Mhm.
to. But especially if you're working on like a budget or like a show where like, okay, we only have this many episodes, this many seasons, yada yada. Yeah, you have to kind of make that sacrifice and say, okay, yeah, we the writer needs to know what's up.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the time, then yeah, focus on what's important and not just. And this character likes bean buns. Doesn't matter. Move on. Like,
Yeah. I feel like I did not get much characterization or with Sonomi and much less with Obanai, the snake one.
yeah, and maybe that's gonna change in the Infinity Castle arc. But again, I think part of it is like you can see the relationships and how they interact, and that tells a lot. Even if you don't get their backstory and like their personality, you can infer off of how everyone else interacts with them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice in the sketch, for anyone that wants actually like tutorial stuff, this is a digital sketch, and I really used that. I transformed, and it was a lot of futzing because when you do a crazy pose like this, I feel like one of the most important things is like the anatomy that you're showing or thinking about has to be on point. Especially when so much is exaggerated, you need to push. When you're pushing it, really push it. But when you're grounding it, you have to really ground it. And like I said, there's a lot of overlap going on here, and you can see I really tried to true up the lines that were overlapping to show what was close to each other, what's foreground, background, all this stuff. And I hope that when I start doing my spot blacks and my cross hatching, it helps bring. Like I think right there, I think that's a fun vibe.
Okay. Can I just say,
Yeah.
if you took like the X out of the eye, that would have been much cooler looking.
You think without the X? See,
Yeah.
I thought the X kind of kept it in that because, like I said, I clearly wasn't like staying super on model or style matching, so I thought, okay, I'll just make it more sketchy and cartoony then. But I mean, this again, the beauty of digital art is like there's no reason I can't save a version of this without it, so maybe I'll try it.
Yeah.
But I think the X just like that was just a way to help it look more manic. Because if you do it without a pupil, I think that looks ethereal and otherworldly and like oddly composed. But if you put some kind of suggestion of a pupil in there, especially like if it gets really small, it's just oh no.
Well, no, you see, I kind of disagree with that sentiment.
That's okay.
Because
I didn't say what you thought. Yeah, and then I just like very quickly try to throw some background suggestion in there, just be like, he's jumping. He goes, wee. But yeah, we didn't actually like update a whole lot. We're back. We're gonna be doing stuff. We're gonna be working on our Patreon stuff here. Please go follow it. We're also gonna be selling digital prints there, and if you are interested in getting physical copies of anything, including the Monster Hunter Journal thing, zine, you can DM us either on Blue Sky or on our Patreon, and we can work out online orders, but we do not currently have like a store. So
yeah,
anything else you want to add, Ace?
I don't think so.
If you guys want like a vloggy update, like life thing, I won't have a problem doing it. It's just not what we naturally talk about because, especially if there's anime in front of us, we're gonna talk about anime.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.